plan. There's something sacred about 4 a.m. The world is still asleep. The noise hasn't begun. And in that silence, there is power, plan. Not just the power to do more, but the power to become more. You see, plan. Waking up at 4 a.m. isn't just a habit of billionaires. It's a signal to the universe that you're ready to take ownership of your life before the world starts making demands of you. Plan. You don't have to be rich to rise early, but rising early might just make you rich in discipline, in purpose, and in peace. Plan. This isn't about money. It's about mastery. Plan. About making your life a masterpiece. And that begins in the hour most people ignore. Let's talk about why. At 4 a.m., plan. The world is asleep, but you are awake. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, purposefully awake. Plan. There is no traffic outside, no buzzing of messages, no voices competing for your attention. It's just you, your thoughts, plan, and a silence that feels like truth. In this rare stillness, you finally hear what you often ignore. The sound of your own soul, plan. And in that moment, you're no longer running from anything. You're just being, fully present, fully alive, plan. Stillness is not weakness. It is strength in its purest form. When you can sit with yourself without distraction, plan. When you can rise before the world tells you who to be, that's when you begin to understand who you truly are, plan. Billionaires may use this time to plan empires, but you can use it to reconnect with your inner power, plan. Before the noise of the day begins, you get to write the story of who you will be in those 24 hours, plan. And the beauty is, no one can interrupt that story yet. In a world obsessed with hustle, stillness is rebellion, plan. It's your quiet refusal to be consumed by chaos. It's the space where fear is heard but not obeyed, plan. Where self-doubt shows up but doesn't take the lead. This is where you breathe deeply, check in with your purpose, plan. And remember that success is not found in endless activity. It is found in conscious intention, plan. Stillness gives you that intention. It gives you back yourself. And perhaps most importantly, stillness builds self-trust, plan. Because when you consistently wake up at 4 a.m., you are keeping a promise to yourself, not because anyone is watching, plan, but because you are watching. You're proving to yourself that you are worthy of your own time, your own energy, plan, your own commitment, that level of self-respect, that quiet power. It changes everything, plan. It becomes the foundation for every powerful choice you will make for the rest of your life. Desire will always whisper the easy way out, plan. It tells you to sleep 5 more minutes, to skip the workout, to postpone the dream, plan. But discipline stands tall when desire tries to bend you. It doesn't beg for comfort, it commands respect, plan. When you choose to rise at 4 a.m., you are not just choosing a time. You are choosing a mindset that says, plan. I refuse to be led by what feels good right now, plan. I am led by what builds me long term. Every great achievement ever made, whether it was in business, art, health, plan, or self-mastery, began with someone choosing discipline over desire. Waking up at 4 a.m. isn't about being perfect, plan. It's about being committed. It's about pushing past the part of your mind that wants to stay safe, cozy, and unchanged, plan. Because every time you win that quiet battle with your weaker self, you are slowly becoming the strongest version of you, plan. Discipline is rarely glamorous. There are no applause, no cameras, no instant rewards. But there is growth, quiet, plan, unshakable growth. And those who practice it consistently begin to feel something powerful. A sense of control over their lives, plan. A sense that they are no longer reacting to life, but designing it. The 4 a.m. discipline trains your mind to lead with purpose, plan, not mood, to act from commitment, not convenience. And that shift changes everything, plan. You stop waiting for the right moment. You stop needing motivation. You stop giving power to your excuses. Plan. You start building habits that build you, because when you choose discipline at 4 a.m., when no one is watching, plan. When no one will praise you, that's when your inner foundation is laid, plan. And the structure of your future will be only as strong as the discipline you built in the dark. There is something deeply empowering about being ahead. Not ahead of others, plan, but ahead of your own doubts, ahead of yesterday's fears, ahead of the noise that will eventually flood the day, plan. When you wake up at 4 a.m., you gift yourself a head start that most people won't even notice. But your soul will, plan. While the world sleeps, you're already in motion, already shaping the story of your day with your own hands, plan. Imagine stepping into your morning not in a rush, but with rhythm, no chaos, no panic, just quiet focus, plan. By the time others are snoozing their alarms for the 3rd time, you've already moved your body, fed your mind, plan, and set your intentions. That's not just a schedule, that's momentum, plan. And momentum is one of the most underestimated forces in success. It creates flow. It eliminates resistance. It tells the universe, I am not waiting anymore, plan. I am ready. There is a confidence that comes when you've done more before sunrise than most will do by noon, plan. And it's not arrogance, it's alignment. It's the quiet strength of knowing that you are no longer living passively, plan. You're creating deliberately. That early start becomes your advantage, not because it's flashy, but because it's consistent, plan. Every small, early win compounds, and those early hours become bricks in the foundation of something unshakable, plan. It's easy to underestimate what those early hours mean. But over weeks, months, years, they transform you, plan. Not just in productivity, but in identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who needs to be pushed, plan. And you start becoming someone who pulls themselves forward. That is the head start that matters. Not just to get more done, plan, but to become someone who no longer needs to be convinced of their worth, plan. You rise, and your life rises with you. There is a kind of clarity that can only be born in solitude, not the loneliness that isolates you, plan, but the sacred quiet that connects you to your own truth. When you wake up at 4 a.m., before the notifications, the conversations, plan, the demands, you return to the voice you've neglected the most, your own. In that hour, you are not performing, not proving, plan, not pleasing. You are simply present, and in that presence, answers come, direction comes, peace comes, plan. Most of us are so busy surviving that we forget to listen. We forget to ask ourselves the questions that truly matter, plan. Am I proud of the life I'm living? Am I walking in alignment with my values? Am I growing or just going through the motions? Plan. The solitude of the early morning is not just about being alone, it's about becoming intimate with your purpose, plan. And that intimacy changes everything. Your decisions, your habits, your identity. When you allow yourself to sit in silence, plan, you begin to see through the fog. You recognize what is essential and what is noise. Plan, you remember that you are not here to live on autopilot. You are here to build something beautiful with your breath, your choices, plan, your moments. Solitude gives you the space to reflect without judgment, to plan without panic, to dream without fear, plan. It gives you clarity, not just about what to do, but about who you are becoming. And that clarity becomes your compass, plan. It guides you not with force, but with quiet conviction. Because the truth is, no matter how successful or busy you are, plan, without clarity, you are just moving fast in the wrong direction. Solitude teaches you to slow down so that when you move, plan, you move with intention. When you speak with depth. When you act from alignment, plan. That's what the 4 a.m. hour gives. Not just time, but vision. Winning is not a moment. It is not that single applause, plan, that headline, that reward you receive in the spotlight. Real winning is built in the darkness of discipline, plan, in the quiet repetition of things no one sees. It begins with routine, the small, unglamorous choices made daily, plan, even when no one is watching. Waking up at 4 a.m. is not just about being early, plan. It's about becoming someone who refuses to leave their growth to chance. The truth is, without routine, plan, life pulls you in every direction. One day you're motivated, the next day you're tired. One day you're hopeful, plan, the next day you're drowning in doubt. But routine anchors you, plan. It holds your values when your emotions try to talk you out of them. It keeps your feet grounded in what matters, plan. It reminds you that progress is not born in chaos. It is sculpted through structure, through rhythm, through consistency, plan. Your routine becomes your identity. Every morning you rise early, every cold shower you take, every journal entry, every workout, plan, every quiet meditation, they all become bricks in the architecture of your future self. Slowly, plan. These small actions whisper to your mind, I am someone who shows up. And over time, your beliefs follow your behavior, plan. You begin to walk differently, speak differently, plan, believe differently. Because you've proven to yourself that you are no longer the person who waits for motivation, plan. When you win your mornings, you begin to win your life. That victory is not loud. It doesn't need an audience, plan. It's in how you show up to your relationships, how you face your fears, how you chase your dreams, plan. Routine may look boring to the outside world, but to the one who practices it, it is sacred, plan. It is the quiet engine of every meaningful transformation. Because if your habits shape your days, plan, and your days shape your life, then building a powerful routine is the first step to building a powerful destiny, plan. The first hour of your day is not just about checking off a to-do list. It's about training your mind to respond to life instead of react to it, plan. What you feed your mind in those early moments becomes the tone of your thoughts, the rhythm of your emotions, plan, and the power behind your choices. When you wake up at 4 a.m., plan, you are choosing not just to rise. You are choosing to protect your peace, focus your energy, plan, and center your soul before the world even touches you. A rushed morning breeds a restless mind, but a deliberate morning, plan, that builds a deliberate life, plan. The stillness of 4 a.m. offers you the gift of control, to decide what enters your mind before social media, before the noise, plan, before the demands of the day. When you begin with gratitude, intention, movement, and silence, your mindset starts to shift, plan. You're no longer begging the day to be kind to you. You are walking into it already full of strength, clarity, and purpose, plan. It's not about perfection. It's about programming your brain to expect more from you, to expect discipline, plan, to expect courage, to expect focus. A strong morning routine is like a rehearsal for the rest of the day, plan. It teaches your brain to prioritize growth over comfort, vision over distraction, and resilience over weakness, plan. The way you speak to yourself in those early hours becomes the way you show up for every challenge, plan. That mindset isn't a gift, it's a practice. And that practice creates power, plan. A mind that has been shaped in stillness is not easily shaken by chaos, plan. A mindset forged in discipline doesn't fall apart when life gets heavy. Because when you've faced yourself in the mirror at 4 a.m., plan. When you've kept promises to yourself while the world slept, your mindset becomes your greatest shield, plan. Not because life is easier, but because you've trained yourself to be stronger. Your morning is not a routine, plan. It is your mind's foundation. Every single day you are casting a vote, not in a ballot box, not for a politician, plan, but for your future self, your actions, your habits, plan, your choices. They are all silent declarations of who you believe you are and who you are becoming. Plan. Waking up at 4 a.m. is not just about being early. It is about telling yourself, I matter enough to show up. It is a bold plan. Quiet vote for the version of you that doesn't wait for change, but builds it 1 hour at a time. Plan. You don't become disciplined in one leap. You become disciplined by doing the hard thing once, and then again and again, until it becomes your new normal. Each morning you rise, even when you don't feel like it, you are reinforcing a truth. Plan. I am not at the mercy of my feelings. I am guided by my commitment. Plan. This is how identity is shaped. Not by what you say you want, but by what you consistently do. Plan. That's the power of casting votes daily. You aren't just hoping to become better. You are embodying it. Plan. There is no perfect version of you waiting at the end of some finish line. Growth doesn't arrive all at once. Plan. It reveals itself in moments. In the decision to get out of bed when comfort calls. In choosing a journal over a scroll. Plan. In facing your thoughts when silence feels unbearable. These are the quiet, overlooked moments where your future is being shaped. Plan. Every small yes to growth is a seed planted. Every refusal to quit is a root laid deeper. Plan. You don't see the change instantly, but it's there building silently. Eventually, these votes accumulate. One day, plan. You look in the mirror and realize you're no longer pretending to be strong. You are strong. Plan. You're no longer wishing for discipline. You live with it. That person you once admired, you have become. Plan. Not because of luck or ease, but because you kept showing up when it was hard, when no one noticed, when you were tired. Every day, plan. Every morning, you cast a vote, and in doing so, you cast a future. So if you're still waiting for the right time, plan. Let me tell you, it doesn't exist. The right time isn't something you find. It's something you create. Plan. And it begins the moment you choose to rise, not just from your bed, but from your excuses, from your fears. Plan. From everything that told you you weren't enough. Waking up at 4 a.m. isn't a magic formula. It's a mirror. Plan. It shows you who you are when the world isn't watching. It reveals your strength when no one is clapping. Plan. It teaches you that discipline is love, the deepest form of self-respect. Because when you decide to own your mornings, plan. You are not just changing a schedule, you are rewriting your identity. This is not about becoming a billionaire. Plan. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't need applause to be consistent. Plan. Who doesn't wait for the world to believe in them before they act. It's about building a life you don't need to escape from. Plan. A life filled with clarity, courage, and commitment. You were never meant to sleep through your greatness. Plan. You were meant to rise for it, one quiet morning at a time.